Robe. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one and only Sarah Farasia. La, 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 la,
Yay,
la.
not tough. Oh my God, my pal. Um, love you. And look, why don't we get right into it? Because I want to know your hot take on this. All right. We had a listener.
Oh,
She loves us. She wants to know if
oh,
she should launch a podcast in this genre. And you and I both do podcast consulting. So
oh,
listen to
yeah.
this. And then I want your hot take. Sarah, I listen to yours and David's podcasts every week and love them. They are my weekend escape. Thank you so much. We love doing that. We like the escapism world. I'm a financial
Mhm.
planner and divorce coach. I have co-hosted a podcast before and loved it, but I know nothing about getting it out there. I was wondering if you think a podcast about divorce and money based off of what's happening on Housewives would be viable. I got the idea ages ago listening to you and David talking about Bethany and why she continues to work, but now there's so much happening on the franchises. I think about it every week when you talk about your podcasting business. Just thought I'd check. Hope all's going well for you. David, what do you think? Do you think that is a viable concept? And then, of course, anybody that wants to launch a podcast or truly, people need to call us. You already have a podcast or you have a friend that's had a podcast for a couple of years. They're not making any money. They're stuck. We will show you how to do it. But you need to call us. Don't give up. I just saw a very popular podcaster. She and her co-host are quitting their podcast. And I need to DM her because I really think it's
Huh?
probably because they don't know how to make money. I know people
Who's
don't.
the podcast? Are you at liberty to say?
I want to blow up their spot.
Sounds like it's a pretty secret.
No, it's not really.
Somebody we know
I
in the
don't know
business?
the reason though. I don't want to blow up their spot because I haven't read their entire message of why they're leaving the space.
Well, let me boil it down in reality. First of all, yes, Sarah and I have very different courses and styles. Reach out to Sarah for her course. People, every time I mention this, since you bring it up, I get inquiries and I get new candidates. I have two people that I just closed and we are starting on our journey. By the way, mine is per hour or people have been asking me, I can do one-offs. So a lot of people have been asking me, I don't want to pay every week. I don't want to pay every other week. I just want to pay once a month. Great. Some people are like, I just need an hour of your time. And then in 6 months, I might need, yes, we can do it that way. I'm very easy to work with. We book by the hour, and it is, I think I told you recently, happened for the second time. Someone who has a successful podcast outsources everything, editing, this, that. And they're like, I need to book you. I don't want any advice on name, strategy. I need to book you for technical help. How do I edit? How do I do this? I am spending $3,900 a month on all of this. I spent an hour with this person and they're like, we're not done. We need another hour. At the end of the second hour, they're like, you don't understand. You have literally saved me like $3,000 a month. And I'm like, yes. And you paid me a shitload less. I wish I had a David. I wish I had a Sarah when I started
Yeah, me
podcasting.
too.
This is
I
not a
would have
sales
paid
pitch.
anything.
I
I
would have
know.
paid
I would have
any
paid two or
amount
three
of
thousand
money.
dollars.
Same
Yeah.
here. I was sitting home by my fucking self. And when something goes wrong and you are trying to figure it out, I do not want to Google and read step one. Because what happens to me is I would read step one, step two, and I'd be on step four and I'd be like, I can do this on my own. These steps make sense. Then you would
Yeah.
get to step five, and I would be like, I don't see the big green box in the upper left hand corner you're telling me about. So then I'm like, what the fuck? I wish I could just call someone and be like, how do I edit the word out because I said this word and I don't want to. It's invaluable. So we both offer this, but yes, someone just recently reached out to me and they're like, I have a development deal and I already talked to this network. And I'm like, oh my God, what are the networks they talk to? I'm like, oh my God, you have to book me.
Yeah, let us tell
This,
you.
this network is horrible. They're like, and I'm like, I have no horse in the race, but you're about to sign with a horrible network. And they're like, you and Sarah should start a network. I'm like, trust me, we've thought of it. But
Uh,
flip into our DMs and book us for the podcast course. Yes. Go on.
do you think her idea is a good one? See, I would say yes to that. Do you? She's a divorce coach, financial planner, and then talking about housewives' relationships because almost all of them get divorced and past divorces. I think that's a good concept, right?
So like a housewife's relationship divorce
Yeah.
podcast?
I know. What
Like
would we call it? I don't know.
based on what we saw on the TV. Look, I think
Like it.
anything is, I think, a great idea. I mean, some things I think are better ideas than others, but yes.
I think
Yes.
so.
I think so.
Um,
And you don't want to blow up these other two. Okay, but apparently, well, let me tell you this, Sarah, about these secret two people that have announced that they're leaving their podcast. I can tell you one thing for certain. I don't know why they're stopping doing their podcast, but I can guarantee you one thing. It's
I,
not making any fucking money
I know
because
that's
I
why.
don't care if you're an auto mechanic. I don't care if you're a janitor. I don't care if you're a bus driver. I don't care if you're Elon Musk. And I don't care if you are a school teacher. If you are in a business and you are making money, you normally don't quit unless you want to change your life or go on or whatever. A business that is making money does not just up and shut down. So we can spin it any way we want. When Teresa's Fabulini goes away and Ramona's Pinot Grigio is no longer on the shelves and Sonia's Cheater brand is under the table, it ain't making any money. You know what's not going away? Sewing Down South, Skinny Girl. We can keep going.
Well, that
Loyance
was sold, by the way. Skinny Girl.
sold.
I think she does retain some rights to the names or something, but
She retains everything,
I mean,
darling,
give me a break. Is
except,
Skinny Girl candy anywhere? Come on. Is Skinny Girl protein bars anywhere? I don't think. Let's look.
well, Bethany's always eating that salad dressing and eating that popcorn,
Oh,
child.
so gross. Have you eaten it? Oh my God. You want to taste a horrible bottle of wine? Skinny Girl.
Really?
Oh my God. Have you ever drank it? Let's see. Skinny Girl.
No, I have not, darling. No, I have not. Okay. You know what I have drank? I've drank in the Vanderpump Rosé, darling, because life is all diamonds and rosés, or whatever the fuck the tagline is. Girl. Okay, so there you go. I'll do another shout out in a few minutes. Can I just tell you something?
No, candy is, by the way, is not available. When you go to click on it, I think the popcorn is for Skinny Girl, but that's it. The line of Belgian chocolates seems to have disappeared. So
Te-
that's
Teddy Mellencamp, the melon a ball, a Teodoro a melon ball.
Teodoro.
Well, first of all, the rat in the net. Look, Kyle has a good friend in Teodoro, right? Like if someone tried to come for my Catherine Edwards, I would. So I understand that Teodoro is not biased, that she's not unbiased when it comes to Kyle. She'll always be on Kyle's side, but she had an issue, her and the rat that scurries. She's down to one piece of Gouda, this fucking rat, this
Oh,
fucking
really?
rat.
You're taking this away
Yep.
from her?
Yep.
Wow. All over this
Well,
Sutton and
yep. The rat has said that she feels that here's why. You want to know why she's down to one piece of Gouda? The rat says that Sutton's line a few weeks ago, I will